Hey everyone. Oh my god, it's been so long since I uploaded this godforsaken channel. So I'm back with another banger as usual because I only upload bangers. So in this video we're going to be talking about a OC. Which OC you ask? My oldest one. The one I've had for almost a decade. I've had her since I was in elementary school. Her name is Caterina Moretti. She's gotten a really nice character design in my opinion. I think she looks really pretty. But back then, oh lord. We're gonna get into that right now. So, yeah, that's great. So thanks for clicking on this video. Thanks for putting some time into this video instead of doing something completely different. I really appreciate that. And I might upload more soon, but I have no idea. So let's get right into the first part of the video. We're gonna go back in time to the first Thanksgiving, which was in 2014-2015. One evening, I was over at a friend's house and we were drawing like the usual. And then out of nowhere, she convinced me to make an OC. Who was this OC, you ask? Well, who the hell is this video about? It's about Candy. Her old name was Candy. She was not a witch like she is now. She was a rebellious ghost who was a punk who hated everyone and thought that destruction was the answer to every single situation. She didn't take anyone's shit. She never listened to anyone. She was just a bad girl. She was she wasn't like a huge character. She was just like a side character. And I didn't draw her a lot. I didn't draw her a lot at all. This was before she became an anthropomorphic animal. So this was a quick and short area of a whole thing, so let's just get to that portion. Alright, so we're still in the era of 2015. This was a few months, I think, after the creation of Candy, the official creation of Candy. She went from being a ghost to a wolf or a cat. I switched between a wolf and a cat constantly. I was fighting between those two. And she was a goddess of I don't know what. I have no idea what. And she was the cousin of the OC of that friend that I talked about earlier. Like they were related. They both go way back. I kind of miss seeing them being in drawings together and stuff like that. Scenarios together and such. And this was around the time where I was getting into Five Nights at Freddy's. This was when it was all the rage. I think this was around the time that Five Nights at Freddy's 3 came out. I don't know. But I shipped Candy with Springtrap because I thought it was the best thing ever. And let me tell you about this animatic thing that I created this one time on paper on this really old sketchbook I had in elementary. So, this was not very cash money of me that I made Candy give Springtrap a love potion so he can fall in love with her. And, that's a red flag. And it turns out it wore off and then he fell for some other bitch that I don't remember the name of. And Candy ended up getting all sad because she was like, oh, I thought the love potion worked. I thought he was gonna be in love with me, but girl, get out of here. You were so wrong. And then she started singing If Only from Descendants. And I just think that's the funniest shit ever. I would make fun of her if that were to happen to me. Katarina in present would make fun of her. I'm sorry. But she'd think it's the goofiest shit ever. It's awful. It's so weird. Oh gosh. Yeah, there's that. Yeah, I have no idea what to say. I can't really remember anything else from that phase, so on to the portion where I remember a lot from. This was 2 years after the incident. This was when I started getting into the franchise Ratchet and Clank. I still think it's a really good franchise and I recommend it to all of you watching. It is so good. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Katarina, or Candy, she was still Candy at this time, she became Lombax here, because since I was hyperfixating on Ratchet and Clank so much, I loved it a lot, and I loved the idea of a species that looked like animals. So I was like, hey, why not make Candy a Lombax as well? And as usual, with my little silly little brain, I decided to ship her with Ratchet. I don't think it's a bad thing. You know, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but sometimes I just drew the cringiest things with those two. Oh lord, I'm gonna pull up some of the images right now. It was so cringe. I wanna laugh. It's insane. But, you know, there were good times. I had a lot of fun. However, Candy's design changed a lot. She had different outfits, her hair changed a lot, her color palette changed a lot. She always revolved about being generous, kind, timid, and easily flustered, like those traits. She was also Alistair's kid for some reason. I had no idea what I was doing. I just wanted to throw in like a twist in there. I was like, oh my god, did you know that Candy's actually Alistair Azimuth's kid? Like, bro, that doesn't make it any better. Like, what does that do? That doesn't make any plot. That doesn't make any, like, anything really interesting. Hey, just to clear something up, I didn't mean that making your OC the child of a canon character is bad and doesn't make any plot. The way I depicted her to be his kid didn't make any sense, and it didn't really add to anything in my universe. Okay, so that's it for my Ratchet and Clank phase. Let's go on to the next part. Much more exciting. A lot of progress too, so. This was in 2019, which was officially 2 years after I had Katarina as an anthropomorphic animal. I haven't used or touched Katarina in 2 years, which was really bad. I don't really remember what I was doing in those 2 years. Maybe it was when I started watching JoJo and making OCs and stuff like that. I completely forgot about her. But here, she was officially revamped completely. I decided to bring her back and give her a whole new story, whole new personality, whole new shebang, I guess you could say. She was, at this point, I decided to make her a demigoddess of, I'm not sure what, I don't remember, I don't know where the notes are, I lost them. She was a daughter of a sun god and a demigoddess of life and flowers. Other than that, she didn't have a backstory, she didn't have a job, she didn't have any affiliation she belonged to or anything. I also decided to come up with another character that I wanted to pair her up with romantically, because I just didn't really want to ship her with canon characters anymore. So I created Romeo. He didn't really have a backstory either, just like Katarina. He didn't have a clear occupation or anything. But that was like a start, I guess. I'm kind of glad that I started a revamp, because jeez, that would have been imagine if I didn't. I would have felt so bad. But anyways, let's get to the present, where she is more fleshed out, more solid, and I am absolutely proud of my baby girl. Well everyone, this is it, the final part of the video. We're at the best part of the video. Save the best for last. Alright, to recap everything, this was all in 2021. I decided I don't really like her design. So I did a lot of redesigning, and basically I cut Katarina's hair completely short. It was like, not really, it started like as a pixie cut, then it evolved to kind of a mullet pixie cut. Really weird combo, I know. I gave her 2 different hair colors. On each side, blonde and brown. Her eyes are now green. She's more of a stern and cold character. She has trouble opening up to people. She only trusts a few people that she like has. She can tell the vibe of people just by looking at them and being in their presence. Let me get to her backstory. So basically, Katarina grew up in a royal family. This royal family was pretty bad and abusive, and her parents were very strict with her. They sometimes got physical with her, emotionally manipulated her and stuff, and the only person who really cared for her was her mentor, Violetta, and her older sister, Charlotte. So at one point, Violetta found out about this situation, and Charlotte and Violetta planned an escape for Katarina. But Charlotte, in case anything happens, she would take the blame. Violetta didn't really like this idea, but eventually he had to give in and run away with Katarina. And they both got to a village where it was mainly just witches. It was full of witches. And there were these 3 witches that also raised Katarina, and they were the ones who taught her how to use witchcraft, which is how Katarina has that mark on her face, because she's a witch. And Katarina's also part of this guild. She's the vice president of Violetta's guild in the same village. And at one point, she was on a mission to, I don't know, infiltrate a castle or something. I haven't come up with that arc yet. And that is where she met Romeo, who was a knight at that same like palace, and he's an angel here. So yeah, he also got a great change too. And this was when Romeo like caught feelings for her as soon as he saw her, you know, love at first sight type shit. And yeah, you know, it's not a lot, but to me it sounds like I did a lot. And I spent a lot of time on her and developing her. And I'm still working really hard on her arcs, her personality, how her abilities as a witch work. And I'm so proud of myself for that, because I think she's like super cool now, as well as Romeo. And in the future, like in Saint Apollo, which is the name of my story, they both eventually have a child. And that's like something I've barely ever came up with for Katarina. I've never thought of her having a child ever. And this is the first time where I actually thought of her having a kid. Like, she'd be a great mom, in my opinion. Katarina, best mom for real. Anyway, that's all I have to say in this video. Katarina ended up having a huge redesign. In the future, I might change more things about her. Who knows? Who knows what tastes I will have in the next month. So, yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. So sorry I haven't been able to upload in the past 7 months. I've been a little busy. There's been a lot going on in my life. And overall, I just haven't had the motivation to upload. So this is like the one time I actually have effort to put in a video idea. So thank you again for watching. Stay safe, drink water, eat food, sleep well. I love you a lot, and I'll see you when I see you.